Hello, I'm Robert Toomey, and this video is a quick tutorial on how to use the vertical slicing capability in the WG2 Java display. Now, making vertical slices is very similar. It works very similarly to the way the data tables work. If you haven't seen a data tables tutorial, you might watch that first just to get a basic idea of how it works. The only difference really is instead of clicking the data table tab down here, we click the charts tab. If I click the charts tab, you'll see you've got a window here. It says no slice in 3D window. What happens is that this chart has to know where the lat long points are for the slice for it to represent it as 2D here. So go down to the source features bookmarks tab. Click on features. You want this features tab wherever it's at. And in the shopping cart here in the top right of the features window, you're going to add a stick. Going to add a slice. That's how similar it is to data tables. Now, when you add a slice, you get two blue squares, which if I right click and drag, you'll see that something's going on in between these. And what that is, that's a vertical slice of the data. Two different lat long points with fixed heights from bottom to top. Now if I go back to the charts tab and click on it, you'll see some data here. And what's happening is that this is now mapping over to this chart. Now if I click on one of these buttons or one of these squares, I can click on an individual square and actually drag it, and you'll see that the chart is updating to represent that. You can also click anywhere inside the actual square of the slice and drag it around where you want. Now, just like the data tables, this isn't all that useful in and of itself. You may want to actually compare different types of data. Down here in the navigator, I've loaded reflectivity and I've loaded velocity data. If I click on velocity, reflectivity, you'll see that the chart is changing. Just like with data tables, it has a link symbol on the top right of the chart. And when you click on that, you have three choices. Follow selected top product, source 1 reflectivity, source 1 velocity. It's probably clipped because of the cam capture software. Now, if I change it to velocity, this is now showing the velocity data, even though in the window it's showing reflectivity. If I click this top right button on the chart window that says, let's basically add a new chart, I can create another chart, and there's another tab here. I can click and I can drag and lay out that chart. So now I have two charts. Just like with the data tables, I can go to the link and I can tell it what to follow. Now this one here is set to follow velocity, and this one here is set to follow top product, but I'm going to switch it explicitly to reflectivity just in case I change the selection in the other window. Notice now I have two charts and one V-slice. Unless I drag it, you're basically getting a comparison of the two different data values, reflectivity and velocity. Another thing that charts can do is that with this square, you've got interpolation types. This is currently using radial beam width, which is basically it samples the data around the beam width in a certain distance of the beam width, and if it hits, it shows it as a solid color. If I go to linear height interpolation, it does a weighted linear height between two beam widths. If I go to binomial interpolation, it does a two-dimensional interpolation where it actually goes left and right in latitude, longitude, and in height, and tries to smooth it out a little better. More may appear in this list later on. For instance, I may have trilinear interpolation to make it really super smooth. The only thing is, as you go down the list, they tend to get slower. So if you're looking at a lot of data at once, you may not want to have all those turned on. Charts also have the ability to set some other features within the chart. I won't go into these too much in detail right now. One other button that's on here is the toggle virtual non-virtual volume button, which if you were looking at this in real time, or you were looking at real-time data, you'd probably want to turn this on so that as your auto-updating products came in, this vertical slice would automatically update to the latest virtual volume instead of staying in the old data or the archive data that you'd be in otherwise. And I think that about does it for now for vertical slices.